So anybody who knows anything about bad films will have heard of this epic masterpiece. It begins with some guy who constantly keeps calling us his friend and talking about the future.
We are all interested in the future, for that is where you and I are going to spend the rest of our lives. And remember, my friend, future events such as these will affect you in the future.
Death, the proud brother, comes suddenly without warning.
So this is old-school acting legend Bela Lugosi in his last on-screen performance, in which he plays this old man, whose wife has died.
More than the lost roses.
There's a bit of footage of him at the start of the film, and then they had to come up with some contrived way for him to die in the film, because Bela Lugosi actually died in real life. Probably because he read the rest of the script of this film.
Never to return again.
Oh yeah, did I forget to mention the narrator pops up every now and then to tell the audience what's happening, presumably because otherwise no one would have a clue what the bloody hell's going on. Right, back to this. Then it's up in the sky to pilots Jeff and Danny doing a routine flight when, whoa, what was that flying overhead apart from the shadow of the boom mic? Quick Jeff, better hang on to that steering wheel that you weren't hanging onto in the first place. I know the UFO effect is basically a saucepan lid on a wire piece of string, but for 1959 this effect is amazing.
Did you hear anything? I thought it did. Don't like hearing noises, especially when there ain't supposed to be any. Yeah, sort of spooky-like. Gone. Yeah, let's go.
Stock footage of gravediggers do some really badly overdubbed acting and then see the old man's dead wife. But, hang on, is it a different time of day where she is? Is it a different location? It's probably a different universe knowing this film. And then it just fades out and apparently they died. Great. This is where Bela Lugosi is replaced by a dude who looks completely different. Is that why his face is covered? Because we might notice? Surely not. Then they kill the fat cop. Just listen to this epic piece of dialogue here.
One thing sure, Inspector Clay's dead. Murdered. And somebody's responsible.
Brilliant deducing there, Lieutenant Obvious.
Yeah, guess I am.
Now this scene is one of the most iconic moments in the golden age of cinema. Anybody who knows anything about films will have at least watched this scene if they haven't watched the actual film.
A woman, startled by the sight in the sky, telephones the police. There comes a time in each man's life when he can't even believe his own eyes.
That's it. Typical America. 5 minutes of flying saucers and they already try to blow them up. Check out the masterful acting from these buffoons.
Your space commander has returned from Earth.
Send him in. You have your report?
We had to pull in here to Space Station 7 for regeneration. We're returning to the planet Earth immediately thereafter.
What progress has been made?
We contacted government officials. They refuse our existence.
What plan will you follow now?
Plan 9. It's been absolutely impossible to work through these Earth creatures. Their soul is too controlled.
It's funny how nearly all aliens always talk in a pleasant North American dialect, isn't it?
Plan 9 deals with the resurrection of the dead.
So anyway, Plan 9 appears to be to resurrect the dead to take over the world. Right. Zombies.
How successful has it been?
I'm beginning to wonder how bloody awful plans 1 to 8 were before they decided, screw it, let's just raise the dead.
Residents near the cemetery paid little attention to the blast of thunder and
Here's
the
a challenge
flash of
for you.
lightning.
Watch this film and see how many times they repeat footage they've already used. I mean, this footage here of Bela Lugosi's test film pops up time and again. Anyway, the army of 3 zombies rise up and woodenly chase a woman through the cemetery. But what's this? It's randomly the daytime. Has she been running around the cemetery all night?
Casket's here, but nobody's in it.
Can you read the name on the casket?
It's Inspector Clay's grave, but he ain't in it.
That there is some more amazing reaction acting that could rival Atom Age Vampire. Then the aliens try to prove they exist by melting the old man. Brilliant. You know, now I know why so many people die in this movie, because they don't fucking run away! Then there's an argument on board the spaceship. Oh yeah, did I forget to mention that a round flying saucer is somehow square on the outside? And you know what?
You can open the outer hatch.
Forget it. A film this amazing doesn't need to be explained.
Spread a thin line of it.
Now if by this point you're wondering, should I watch this or should I not watch this? Let me tell you now, if you feel even the slightest temptation to see it, then you should watch this film, if only to justify it to yourself that you will have seen one of the worst movies ever made.
You two had better come along with us.
Come with you? Where?
The police station.
So it seems you think you have the upper hand.
I love this guy. He's possibly the best actor in it.
You see? You see? Your stupid minds. Stupid! Stupid! That's all I'm taking from you. Get back!
Then some coppers kill the fat guy with a piece of wood, if that's believable. Jeff gets into a punch-up with the space guy and knocks him out and then runs out of the ship. And then they all watch it take off on fire. Is that not the greatest special effects you have ever seen? They realise the dead woman is still alive, but they don't really seem to care.
That thing yet?
Hey, that's right. There's another ghoul running loose. And it's my guess that she'll look like him. We gotta hand it to them, though. They're far ahead of us.
Yeah, it looks like it, doesn't it? So the whole crew stand about and watch the ship fly off on fire, and then it explodes and vaporizes, and that's the end. Brilliant.
My friend, you have seen
I know I've just started reviewing these old films, but I'm announcing a new award because this film deserves so much more than just a score. It's just so monumentally crap that it is quite possibly the best film ever. And so this film has just won the newly created just this second Emissary of Ages Award for the 1950s decade. 9 out of 10.